bet you don't know what year basketball was invented or the name of the man who created it. I bet you didn't even know the man who invented it was from Canada, and that he not only invented basketball, but he's also credited with being the person who invented the first football helmet. I'm not going to give away too much of this very short book, but it's an extremely interesting read, and we have one print copy and unlimited ebook copies available for you. I think that anybody, whether they're a basketball fan or not, would find this story extremely interesting. Dunk Under Pressure is the story of Cornell Duncan. The guys call him Dunk, but seriously, he couldn't dunk from a 6-foot ladder. He's flat-footed and slow and jumps about 2 inches. But put him at the foul line and he doesn't miss. He's a free throw genius. That's a big part of the reason he makes Hudson City's all-star basketball team going to the state tournament. But just when Hudson City looks like it may have a good chance of going all the way, Dunk gets a wake-up call. Following a few disastrous moments off the bench, he realizes that it's going to take more than free throws to make him a real all-star. Layups and Longshots is a collection of 9 short stories about middle schoolers and sports. They range from a game of horse to running, ping pong, dirt biking, surfing, place kicking, soccer, and of course, basketball. Anthologies like this one are great when you just want to read something short and if you'd like to skip around in a book. If you get this book, I really recommend the 2 stories called Bounce Back and Bigfoot. Short Takes, Fast Break Basketball Poetry. Well, there you go. It's a book of poetry about basketball. And yes, it also happens to be some terrific poetry, illustrated with awesome basketball photography. Go on, try something different this week. Airball, My Life in Briefs, is a pretty unusual sports story. The main character is a 7th grader named Kirby Nickel, who's convinced that a basketball superstar named Brett McGrew is his real father. So Kirby goes out for the basketball team just so he can meet McGrew at the end of the season. However, he has to deal with a really strange basketball coach who uses a special coaching method. He makes the players practice in their underwear. There's actually a logic to this, since the players get really used to looking stupid and being embarrassed during the preseason and get very good at focusing on nothing but the game. I recommend this book because it's different, it's funny, and it also has some serious themes. Check it out. If you're a couch potato like me, Basketball Step by Step could be the book for you. This book presents step-by-step instructions for making offensive and defensive moves while playing basketball. It has really great pictures showing every move moment by moment. If you're really good at using your imagination, you can just see yourself making all of those moves like a pro without even getting up. Seriously though, it has some excellent tips for improving your game. If you're serious about basketball, take a look at this book. In Basketball, or something like it, Hank, Nathan, Jeremy, and Annabelle deal with the realities of middle school basketball. They face family pressures, a series of coaches with very different personalities and agendas, obnoxiously competitive parents, and what it means to be both a teammate and a friend. What's the best angle at which to shoot a jump shot? When is it a good idea to put spin on a bounce pass? Why do even the best players have a hang time of just a few seconds? A few basic scientific principles can answer these questions and explain why many other things happen the way they do. Science at Work in Basketball will help you understand how the laws of science, especially physics, are at work in the game. Alrighty, now I have a few non-basketball books to share with you, beginning with The Amaranth Enchantment. Lucinda was orphaned as a young child when her parents left for a royal ball and never returned. Ever since, she has toiled away in her uncle's lonely jewelry shop under the cruel hand of her step-aunt. But now, all at once, at the age of 15, Lucinda's life is about to change. A mysterious woman, a handsome young man, and an unusual gemstone all enter the shop on the very same day. The woman is none other than the dreaded Amaranth Witch. She has a daring task to offer. If Lucinda succeeds, she'll not only reclaim all that's rightfully hers, but she'll discover a true friend, and perhaps even a true love. Revolver is the story of a 14-year-old boy named Sig who lives in an isolated cabin in the Arctic wilderness. As the book opens, he's alone with a corpse, his father, who fell through the ice on the lake outside and froze to death only hours earlier. While his sister and mother go for help, a stranger comes out of the darkness, claiming that Sig's father owes him a share of stolen gold, and that he'll kill Sig if he doesn't get the money. Sig doesn't know anything about the gold, but he does know that there is a loaded revolver hidden in the cabin's storeroom, a gun that his father had said would protect him someday, but which his mother hates. This is an extremely tense psychological thriller that will keep you turning the pages and unable to put the book down until the end. I have a cool new series to share with you today. I read Explorer, the Mystery Boxes, several years ago, and it's always stood out in my mind as a really interesting graphic novel short story collection. Funny, fantastic, spooky, and suspenseful, each of the 7 unique graphic stories revolves around a central theme, a mysterious box, and the cool stuff, or possibly the mayhem, inside of it. One of the stories was even written and illustrated by Raina Telgemeier back before she became famous for Smile, Sisters Drama, and the rest. The second book in the series, The Lost Islands, includes stories which have an island as the inspiration and also includes a Raina Telgemeier selection. My favorite story in this volume is called Carapace by Jason Caffo. Finally, The Hidden Doors, the third book in the series, is a collection of stories which revolve around many kinds of doors. I especially loved the story called Luis 2.0 by Jen Wang. The best part about this series, aside from the great stories, is the fact that you don't have to read any of this in order. So please come on and get a copy and enjoy. In Amelia Rules, Book 6, Amelia's turning 11. Her new year starts with a bang, a huge birthday party featuring surprise guests and a special song from her Aunt Tanner. It all seems too good to be true until it turns out it is. Suddenly, Amelia's friends are all fighting. She gets the worst report card of her life, and when she finally gets the guts to tell a certain boy how she feels about him, she learns why it's called a crush. Oh dear, even Aunt Tanner isn't around and doesn't seem to have time for Amelia anymore because she has her own crush going on. There are some tough lessons to learn when you're 11 and things may not always turn out as planned. Find out what happens in True Things Adults Don't Want Kids to Know.